The craziest thing about this latest My Instant Death ability is it confirms pretty much what I think a lot of us were assuming. And I mean, when you hear source material readers talk about a character who's the definition of the end, like what does that mean? How can you rationalize the end? Nothing surpasses him. Okay, but what if something says I can't be killed? The idea that by the end of episode 7, we get to see Yogiri, this character with the instant death ability. But it's not just simply about killing something. Like, yeah, he can make something alive like a wall and it will die. No, it's more than that. This episode confirms that he is literally the end. Nothing is past him. He is the definition. Where all points go, he is the final destination, meaning nothing can surpass him. Here people click on their keyboard saying, okay, yeah, but what if there's a guy who can't die? Doesn't matter. It's not about death. It's not about life. It's about the beginning and the end. Yogiri, from My Instant Death ability, is the end, and nothing will ever surpass him. That is the entire point. This character has a bunch of seals that apparently, I think if my interpretation is right, he put on himself or someone put on him. Doesn't matter, those seals are coming undone, and the fact that this is just a fraction of his power, whatever demonic god thing he is, when everything is all said and done, he will literally be an entity beyond comprehension for mortal minds. He is frighteningly powerful in a show that is outright hilarious, and I absolutely adore this isekai. I have a full live reaction episode 7 over on my Patreon. If you want to see my full uncut thoughts as we laugh and just have our minds blown on today's wonderful episode, it's over there if you're interested. Easily my favorite episode out of the 7 by far. What I thought happened turned out to have happened, but it was so much better than I could have possibly realized, which was back in episode 5. I was like, I'm pretty sure he just killed the final boss. Yeah, he did. 100%. There are some twists and turns. Honestly, I didn't see the useless goddess actually being the wife or the mistress of the dark god. That was honestly a twist I didn't see coming, but let this be a lesson to all of you who are just saying, well, it's just a gacha roll here and there. It's just $10 here and there. Listen, these companies, they're gonna bleed your wallet dry, but just think of something. What if isekai was real? What if there is a goddess just waiting for us to find the dumb bastard who's so bad with gacha pulls that she can recruit you to try to basically release the dark god? Think of that the next time you roll for those gacha cards, damn it. Now, jokes aside, I feel bad for my boy. I knew that goddess was useless, but I didn't realize he was gonna get so screwed around. But it's hilarious because I figured what would happen was the barrier would break at some point and everyone would have a shocked reaction, which kind of happens. But instead, we summon the goddess who's like, hey, now everyone's gonna die. All humanity's gonna die. This is great. Comes down, and the only person who wakes up is not her hubby. He falls face first in the damn ocean, and this dude's like, okay, well, if we get a bunch of human sacrifices, it's alright. And Yogiri's like, nah, I don't think so. This is what I mean. They literally confirm in this episode he is the end. Nothing is beyond him. All destinations lead to him. Whatever entity he is a thing that I don't even think he's a person. I think he is literally an idea. The end. Like, it's such a hard thing to explain, but when you see it in execution, you realize just how broken it is. The fact that the man who, I mean, I'm kind of understanding why he's locked up. Now, it's not nice, don't get it mistaken, but I think I understand why that scientist or doctor, whoever just got his head blown apart, locked him up. Because as soon as he gets thrown into this world, he's like, oh, you're the reason he's no longer in my world? Your problem now. Thank you, Jesus. I can't even blame him. Even though I'm glad we get to follow him as a character, the idea that something like that, it exists, it's not even about if it's good or evil. It's just the idea of the end being something you can interact with so casually, and just the idea that as soon as he's in the same location, like there's a reason why he was locked up in a big security vault, because most likely if he was in the same plane of existence, which given that it kind of felt like there was a world inside that vault where he stayed as a kid, it kind of feels like it probably separates from their normal reality. And the idea that like as soon as they're in touch with them, I mean, he blew apart, like he blew up, like whether that was an instinct because Yogiri hated him, whether it was because, you know, just he was destined to die, I don't know, but it's pretty frightening. And the idea that the goddess who apparently summoned them all here to begin with pretty much is like, oh yeah, you know, let's summon someone in here and get some ideas on this Yogiri character. He's real confusing, and the person you summon to get answers on this boy who is confusing you on what exactly he is, blows apart in front of your face. If that doesn't tell you to jump to a new world, I don't know what will. Because anyone with any common sense would just stop at that point. They would just stop. There's no more. The fact that that girl who brought little Piggy to them took one look at him And she pretty much pissed herself. She said, hey, I'm just, here's him. He's a student. Whatever you want, boss. And then she ran. Most logical character. Hands down, the smartest character we've seen, because she recognized just how, whatever this is, that's the end and we ain't surpassing it. Now, there's a lot of crazy revelations in a very hilarious episode, but I think this is legitimately one of my favorite things I've seen in an isekai. So, the goddess is all proud because, like, oh, you know, the barrier's gone. This because she's basically always been trying to screw the Swordmaster over, but the tower has made it impossible. Oh, the person who could repair the barrier? He's dead. Yeah, we killed him casually walking through that puzzle. Yeah, we did that. Oh, the person who could kill me with his legendary sword or special abilities? He's dead. That sucks for you. Yeah, we killed him at the end of last episode. Okay, barrier comes down, and it doesn't matter because we also killed the Dark God like 2 episodes back, and I'm like, that is so good. That is such well executed comedy. Like, I'm not gonna argue this is the deepest show of the season by any stretch of the imagination. It's incredibly clever with its comedic directing. It's like parody and breaking away from tropes. But the idea of Yogiri as a character, and the fact that it's not about him and his story. Like, his story is like, what the hell is he? And like, what mysteries lie there? But the fact that he just walks through this world, he has no interest in the plot lines whatsoever. If you get in his way or you try to hurt him, you're just gonna die. And the fact that he's, like, there's this kind of fun story happening in the background, and the fact that, at least, you know, the new Swordmaster got this nice moment that he got to kill the useless goddess, but like, I don't know, man. I really hope we get a season 2. This show is too good to pass up on having multiple seasons. Like, this is legitimately clever. I've seen many of isekai in my time. I've seen the trash, I've seen the all-time greats, and man, I've seen ones that have made me say, how in the hell did we not get this sooner? And that's where this one lands. I don't know where a show like this goes if you get a full adaptation or you read the full source material, but I can safely say this has been one of the most pleasant isekai experiences I've had in a hot minute. It blows my mind how broken of an MC he is. I've constantly heard that he's the end, and like, you know, it's like, okay, that's one thing. But it's the way they say in this episode that it just kind of clicks everything together and you realize, oh, it's not about simply killing. It's not about simply saying this, no, it's like, whatever the end is, whether that's life and death, whether that's things burning out, whether that's time stopping, whatever it is, nothing is beyond him. That is what they said in this episode, while simultaneously being the funniest episode all mixed into one. It's so clever in so many different ways, and this is legitimately one of the most entertaining shows I'm watching this season, and probably will watch this year if I'm being honest. Let me know what you thought of episode 7 of My Instant Death Ability down below. What did you think of everything that happened, honestly? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we had that full live reaction over on my Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we have Aeropolitan Flan, Jan Peterson, Hune, E, Roscoe, and Zeekster. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.